Right, thank you for finding this video. I am very sorry to hear that, about the diagnosis for you. But I think I'm duty bound to make this video just to make some people aware of avenues and options for them. Do you know what I mean? Right? I was diagnosed with leukemia on the 21st of February 2020. Um, I literally went to the doctors for the first time in 15 years because I was a bit short of breath. I was like making loads of mistakes at work. I was a carpenter, and I was making loads of mistakes at work, having silly mistakes basically. And I was starting to wonder what the hell was going on with me. I was short of breath. Um, Bits and pieces were going on, and I just something was going on. I was out of character, let's say. Short on patience, even more than usual. Just all of that. And so basically, I do apologise about the vertical video. I did plan on this being a short video, but it's probably not going to be that. Where are we? So I go for this medical. And bear in mind, I haven't been to the doctors for 15 plus years, right? Not been to the doctors for 15 plus years. And so they can't find, my local GP cannot find anything about me, basically, because I was, in my opinion, in good health. I did smoke, I must admit, I did smoke cigarettes, and I was a user of marijuana as well. And so I knocked the marijuana on the head, um, you know, at that New Year's, so the New Year's of going into 2020. I thought it'd mark an occasion. I had a 1 year old, still have still have a baby, but he's not obviously 1 years old anymore. And so I was thinking, look, now's the time to fix up, stop messing around, blah, blah, blah. I had good work coming in. Everything was going pretty well, aside from the fact that I could barely breathe. So go to this GP, can't find my notes. Then they could sort of sense something from me. I was being a bit pushy, I guess. I don't know. And I was like saying, this might be quite important, sort of thing. I had a bit of a swelling right where my spleen is. And yeah, I would not have gone into this GP surgery had my missus not, begged me to, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I'm driving past. This is on the 20th. Driving past, they managed to find, me an appointment to actually get seen, because obviously I've never been to that surgery before. And basically, yeah, I go there. They give me a few prods and all the rest of it, and said, "Look, you seem alright. Apart from you look a bit pale, you look a bit anemic." So I'm thinking to myself, okay, no big deal, surely. But then she said to me, but you can, have a blood test if you want. And so I was off work, so I thought to myself, you know what? I'm going to take myself off and get this blood test. So she's given me the address and a bit of paper to go and get this blood test, right, and a referral, whatever the hell it was. And I go all the way to this hospital, the one I thought she was sending me to. Yeah, I completely messed up and I went to the wrong hospital. Ironically, it was the hospital where my bloods would have ended up. Yeah, so it kind of almost expedited the whole thing by me going to the wrong hospital. Bizarre, yeah, but maybe just another part of fate, let's say. I don't know. So I go to this hospital, another strange experience where they can't find anything about me because I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be at a different hospital, but they gave me the blood test anyway. So I have the blood test, and that's it. I don't think anything more about it. I go home, and that's that. Go home, see my wife, my baby, all the rest of it, have dinner, go to bed that night on the sofa, as I had been doing for a little while, because again, with all this that was brewing up in me, I couldn't sleep at all with the baby in that room because I just couldn't sleep. We had a dog at the time, God rest his soul, who was 13 years old. He's a Rhodesian Ridgeback, and he had rheumatoid arthritis, so he had a big problem with his back legs, and so yeah, he was going to the toilet at night, you know, crapping on his bed, and all over the place. And so I was kind of staying on the sofa to sort of for it to be the lesser of two evils. You know, obviously I was trying to get some rest by not being in the other room, but equally I knew that if my dog went to the crap, or I didn't try and let him out at the very least, then there was going to be crap all over the floor. And I had work. I had to take my missus to the station, my baby to babysitting. Do you know what I mean? It was just, I was on top in terms of stress. Do you get what I mean? I just recently hit a cyclist. Yeah, not seriously hit a cyclist, but clipped one with my car pulling out, and he went flying. Not bad. It wasn't like a high speed impact, but it was enough to throw him off his bike, right? So I had the stress of that. I'd gone through a pipe at work. Everything, you would not believe how much stress I was facing, yeah? You will not even begin to understand, right? So that might be a common thread with anyone else that has been diagnosed with leukemia, that they were under a lot of pressure, a lot of stress at the time. This is part of why I'm making this video. I'm asleep on the sofa, yeah, the morning of the 21st, yeah, having the blood test the day before, the 20th. So it's basically the night of the blood test, that same night. I'm just going to charge my phone. What happens? Well, I get woken up to a bang, 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 bang on my front window, yeah? I'm in a masonette, by the way. It's like a downstairs flat. Bang, 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 bang on the window. I'm like, what's going on? Like, it's, pitch black, yeah? I don't know what's going on, yeah? So I'm like, I go to the window and I can see paramedics, yeah? I can see the flashy, the shiny, high-vis paramedics at my door, yeah? Boom, 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 boom. So I'm like peering closely to the window, trying to work out if I'm about to get done over, because to me it felt like these are fake paramedics, yeah, and I'm going to open the door and then I'm going to get rushed by 20 people as I open this door, yeah. So I'm a bit coy, yeah. And the first thing I said to this lady, poor lady, was, what the fuck do you want? Expecting her to be like, yeah, open the fucking door, like, or something weird, and I was all poised, right? And she was like, I'm here to take you to hospital. So I'm like, this is 4 o'clock in the morning, guys, yeah? So she's telling me I've got to come to hospital. She's like, Maurizio. And I'm like, yeah. She's like, didn't you receive the call? You need to come to hospital now. And I honestly, I'm thinking I'm dreaming, yeah. I'm like, what? And then it obviously registered, oh, I had a blood test today, didn't I? What am I, a fucking werewolf or something? Why are they having to come to me like this in the middle of the night? So I checked my phone and lo and behold, there's missed calls, yeah. Obviously the blood centre or whatever are calling me, or the doctors is calling me to say, you need to get your ass into hospital. So I quickly write a note for my missus to say I've gone for a walk, because normally I do that sort of thing crazily, at crazy hours because I'm weird, right? I go out on walks. I just go lose myself, go and walk long distances, right? So I leave a note for her saying, gone for a walk, be back soon. So she doesn't worry, yeah, because I'm thinking still at this point, right, there's probably a big mess up with this and they don't really need to see me at all. So I leave the note, grab my EDC kit, and I jump in the back of this ambulance. So I'm sitting there, and they're like, "Oh look, do you want us to find out what this is about?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? You don't know what this is about?" And they're like, "No, we're just here to transport you to hospital." So I'm like, "Yeah, please find out what this is about." I don't, you know what I mean? They're making me a bit nervous now. I'm sitting in this cul-de-sac in the back of an ambulance at 4 o'clock, and they've still got their blue lights on. No siren, but the blue lights are just sitting flashing. I'm like, "Please, can we just pull out of this cul-de-sac?" Because so we pull out this cul-de-sac, yeah. They get on the phone, so we're parked up around the corner, and she was like, "Oh, okay." I can hear her on the phone. I'm thinking, "Oh God, what is this now?" Yeah. So, boom, there you go. It would appear you have leukemia. So I'm like, so I kind of broke down a bit, I admit at the time I didn't really know much about leukemia and what it even was, yeah. I just knew it was kind of a blood cancer and it's a white blood cell problem, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, so get over it in the moment sort of thing, and they begin to take me to Croydon University Hospital, where I stay for the next 8 to 9 hours. You know, I'm getting missed calls off my missus. Where are you? Why aren't you home? Blah, 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 blah. Anyway, to cut a long story short, they told me that day that I had 3 weeks to live if I didn't get treatment, basically, yeah. So that was a big punch in the face, let's say, yeah. Just at the start of 2020, you know, like February, like I say, February 21st. Yeah, my sister's birthday was the next day. And so I was having to keep this a secret from her, keeping it a secret from my mum, not really knowing what to do. But at the same time, they're telling me, you've got 3 weeks to live. This is getting serious, right? So they referred me to the Royal Marsden, which is the hospital, luckily not that far from my house. It's in kind of Sutton, which is a cancer proper specialist hospital. You know, they cured my auntie of esophageal cancer. So I was thinking, okay, I've got a good chance here, blah blah blah. I'm fit and well, I say fit and healthy, but I was running miles before this. You know, if I hadn't been so fit, let's say, I would have been in deep shit. Let's put it that way. I would have been in deep shit because what followed on was 5 rounds of intensive chemotherapy for ALL, acute lymphoblastic leukemia, which is basically a problem with your white cells where they get sent out from your bone marrow, I believe, too early, and they end up crowding out all your other cells because they're the immature, they call them blast cells, so they're immature white cells, not fully formed, have no real function, and so they crowd out your bloodstream and don't let any of your red blood cells sort of do what they need to do, right? So what happens is you start getting a bit anemic, you start, so obviously your red blood cells carry, with the hemoglobin, carry the oxygen. I'm sorry, doctors, if I'm butchering this, but they carry the hemoglobin and, it keeps you breathing nice. You know, when you're getting anemic, it's like low red blood cell count, isn't it? So you're not able to carry as much oxygen, therefore you get a bit out of breath. Your heart rate, and that's another thing, my heart rate at resting was 90 BPM. And naturally I'd be 55. I'm telling you, I was a fit guy, you know what I mean? Even though I smoked, I was a fit guy. I used to swim, I used to do lots of stuff, right? So, get to the Royal Marsden, blah, 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 5 rounds of intensive chemo. And I know after the first round doesn't work perfectly, I didn't go into remission straight away, that means that I had refractory leukemia, whatever. So it meant that I was going to have a stem cell transplant. They knew that after the first round didn't work because for whatever reason, I won't embarrass myself further by trying to explain all that. So this is after, at the start, them telling me how dreadful, let's do this first round for now, but, you don't really want a stem cell transplant. We very nearly killed you and all this. And I'm thinking, what the fuck? Yesterday I was a fit and healthy guy with a bit of, short of breathness, and now look at the fucking state of this. Anyway, so sorry for the language. I do apologise. It's not pretty, but yeah, this is just the reality. So I end up having a stem cell transplant, and I get my new cells from a baby's umbilical cord from the US. Yeah, a girl. Yeah, just what I needed it to become more of a woman. And that's no slight to women, by the way. I've just been called a bit of a woman in the past, so anyway, I'll just probably edit that out. So yeah, that was the kind of state of play, and the stem cell transplant, I get my cells literally 6 months to the day after getting diagnosed, which is kind of bizarre. And they thought that was weird, along with many other things to do with me. So we had the stem cell transplant, came out, and now I just use cannabis on its own to be well. Yeah, I've come off their pharmaceutical drugs about a year ago. So I was on them for their treatment, and then maybe for another year, and then I just basically said that's it, because it wasn't making me any better. It was just keeping problems with my stomach. You have massive gastric problems. You have all sorts of issues. I'm really sorry if you found this video because you're looking at all the ins and outs of leukemia, but although I'm giving you forewarning to its toughness, I also want you to know how it is possible to get through it. with the right mindset. And I was quite disappointed, let's say, like, shout out to all those nurses that looked after me at the Royal Marsden. They were absolutely fantastic. And, I'm very grateful to them. However, I will say that I will never go for and do any of that treatment ever again. Even if that kills me, I will say, because I don't truly believe that that is the full ticket to, the way to get back healthy. I don't believe you can do that with that stuff alone. I don't believe it. And they will fool you into saying, the consultants will say that this is all that you can do and all that, but it's not all you can do, actually. It's just all that they can offer you because they come from a school of thought. And I think that's very important to understand now. And I'm not giving you any advice on how to deal with your setup. You deal with it how you want to deal with it, right? I'm just saying how I'm dealing with it and what is working. Because after being an outpatient, after the stem cell transplant worked, and having a good chimerism, which is basically a good share of the percentage of cells that you were given, staying around and not just being killed off, and your old immune system being there, because I've got a whole new immune system, let me say. They have to give you chemotherapy, and I got full body, total body irradiation as well, where they basically kill off your whole immune system. So they basically kill your bone marrow and then implant a new one in order to hope that grows, right? So yeah, what I have been through is just, like, honestly, I don't even know. I don't even understand it still. It was harsh, you know what I mean? And I want people to be mentally prepared for that potential harshness should you go down that road. But I will say that cannabis is also another option should you wish to allow your body to try and heal itself. And I know this is a contentious subject. I'm probably going to be scrapped from the whole thing and no one's going to see this video as a result, but I don't care. I have a duty to say this, what is working for me. Because I hadn't had a blood test in a long time, and I went and had one just the other day, and they said that I'm all right. So they said I'm all right. So what does that tell you? Do you know what I mean? I don't know. I don't know. I quit cannabis. Within 1 month, I developed cancer. And now I'm back using cannabis again, and life is good. So just, do you know what I mean? Make the right decisions for yourself. But when the doctors and that are telling me that diet plays no part in any of this, or just eat what you can, it doesn't matter what you eat, I have to call bullshit on that, because you are what you eat. You understand? Above and below the counter, by the way. So I hope this has helped someone, but you won't find this information on the internet. I should be the case study. Do you know what I mean? Because the internet is not going to tell this to you. Yeah, you won't find this on a Google search mostly. You'll find one study of where a little girl, the parents were trying to get her cannabis oil and stuff like that, and poor girl ended up dying because so much damage was done by the chemotherapy. And like I say, this is 2 years later and I'm still suffering the effects of that chemotherapy. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got lots of issues still going on, eczema and just craziness. It doesn't even look that bad, but I do have lots of issues still. But I know I'm a lot better being off the pharmaceutical drugs. Hope this helps someone, guys, and keep moving forward regardless of the situation you find yourself in, because I don't believe this is all there is anyway. I mean, for another story. Peace.